Okay, let's talk about the difference between routes and tracks. Routes are a path that you want to take but haven't yet taken, and tracks are paths that you did take. And the way to think about that is when you take a route and you leave tracks behind, that's a track. So I'm jumping over to Google Maps right now, and I've got a route laid out from Los Angeles to Miami. And let's say we want to add a destination there, so let's go to New York. And there is a 2-stop route, okay, which is very handy in Google Maps, and you can add many destinations. Let's go to Seattle. I think the limit is 10 different destinations in Google Maps. So if we switch back over to Google Earth, unfortunately, we do not have the ability to do multi-stop routes in Google Earth. You only have a starting point and an ending point. And that's it. Okay, so now I have that same route that I set up in Google Maps here on Google Earth from Los Angeles to Miami. And unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, you don't have the ability to add multi-stop routes in Google Earth. You can only enter a starting point and an ending point, but in my advanced training, I will show you a workaround on how to achieve that. And so here we have a single stop route, and with the snap of my finger, now we have a multi-stop route, just like that. Okay, much more to show you in the advanced training on routes, but I want to show you one last thing before we switch over to touring that has to do with routes. So we have directions entered in here, Los Angeles to Miami. And if we get those directions, here they are. It just popped up with these stop by stop, turn by turn directions all the way from Los Angeles to Miami. Now, this is what Google Earth determined to be the best route. This is not what we programmed in there. So I want to show you one other thing. This is that same route that I just searched for, Los Angeles to Miami, and I'm going to play that route, or what we're going to call a tour of that route, okay? So we're going to play a tour of the route by clicking this button right here, and watch what it does. So it goes from the beginning to the end. It shows you the beginning, starting point, the ending point, and then it proceeds along the route, and it stops at each individual intersection or change of direction, basically. So it's just something to be aware of in the automation that Google Earth has, and you really don't have control over it stopping at these different places. So it skips over large distances, and I guess it gives you turn-by-turn directions, but it's not very entertaining to watch, right? Well, I have a much better method that's much smoother and really shows you the scenery as you're going along the path that you've taken. So stay tuned for that. That is in the advanced training. Okay, one more important thing to show you with routes. So the whole purpose of Google Earth videos is to show your audience where you've been, or maybe where you're going. Now, what we could do is you just could create a video, and I haven't even showed you how to record this yet, just kind of awkwardly dragging the mouse along your route as we're headed over here from Los Angeles to Miami. And it's pretty clunky looking, right? Or you can do it with the navigation buttons up here, and that's even more clunky looking, etc. And you could make a video of that, but it's pretty awkward, right? And even better is you could actually, using my secret method that I'll show you in my advanced training, you could actually fly along the route just like this, right? So this would be a good way to show your audience where you plan to go, but it definitely is not showing them where you have gone, because the route is already laid out in front of you. It's not showing you progress as you're moving along. So again, I encourage you to check out the advanced training, where I will show you the difference between following a route and following a track. Okay, one last thing on routes before we switch over to tours. And this is kind of more like a game than anything. They call it Flight Simulator, and I'll just show it to you. Pretty difficult to actually fly the airplane. So I'm flying an F-16 right now, and I'm being really careful not to let it get out of control. But I guess you could, you could make a video like this. Basically, you just you can kind of see my mouse in the center there moving, and I'll make some more dramatic movements here. But anyway, it's a very awkward way to try to show your audience how you're going about your route, but it's maybe a fun way to fly around Google Earth. So I'll make some more dramatic movements here. We'll do some barrel rolls. It's just kind of a fun way to play around, but it doesn't take long to get it out of control, that's for sure. Anyway, you can fly a Cirrus SR-22 prop airplane, or you can fly the, let's get this thing to crash. Right into this wheat field, bam. All right, exit Flight Simulator, your aircraft has crashed. So anyway, that's Flight Simulator. If you want to figure out how to access that, check out my advanced training. Okay, in the next video, we will get into the most important part of this entire training. Everything that we've been learning up to this point points to tours. So stay tuned for the next video.